What if you want to stay strong through your later years? You want to be active, strong, independent, just to be able to do all the things that you want to do, but you aren't sure where to begin. I recommend that you begin focusing on your legs, because leg strength is the foundation for everything else that we do in our active lives. So it's not just about looks. Sure, strong legs look good, but it's a foundation for balance, stability, mobility, and freedom to do all the things you love to do without fear of falling or injury or getting worn out. Now, I want to be real with you. This is the part where I am reaching out, hoping to have your trust in what I'm going to share with you in this 5-part video series, this being part 1. I almost didn't film it, you guys, because I'm having to completely reveal my vulnerabilities. On one hand, yes, I'm an expert. Yes, I have done this for 2 decades. Yes, I have won trophies on bodybuilding stage on a national level. But if you looked at me right now, you wouldn't be able to tell. Because this is the messy beginner's state, the starting point for every hero's journey. And even though I didn't want to really show you myself in that state, I thought, what better way to reach across to you with authenticity? Because a lot of you listening are in a beginning state, or you've made progress and now you're plateaued and you feel stuck. And there's just, what's the point? Or some of you that have been doing a lot for a very long time and maybe can appreciate and connect with me with the setbacks that you've had. I hope so, because I really adore this community and I don't want to lose anybody, but it's going to be a little bit of a shakeup, I'm afraid. So I maintained a lean, muscular physique always, and refined it each time a little more to get better and better for each upcoming contest. Then came my knee replacement. And even though I was only 68 when I got it done, I'm 69 now, I have gone through a year of physical therapy, yes, and then eventually the stationary bike when my range of motion got better. So I was moving, but clearly not at the intensity I was before my surgery. So there's loss of muscle. There is not as much of a calorie deficit. In fact, a little bit of a calorie surplus, because I just wasn't burning the fuel. And also having to be respectful of the healing process and not just shove my round body into a square hole, because that doesn't serve anybody either. So in and among all of that, I developed some bad habits that I'm weeding out one by one right now. I have dragged my feet in starting this comeback road to the next level. I don't know why I was so hesitant to start, but I kept telling myself that I want to be on stage when I'm 70. So now it's August, and if I don't start now, I won't be ready, because it takes a while to get to that level. There's a lot that has to go on. So I'm having self-doubt. I'm thinking, am I being crazy? Is this overreach? And I thought, what am I always telling you guys? It's not too late. You can do it. And on a little voice in the back of my head says, yeah, you can do it. But you're going to have to break the bad habits that you've acquired over the last year. You're going to have to discipline yourself. And the first thing was so smart. I hired a really skilled trainer. So at least as I was able to do resistance training again, I was showing up every time. Not, I'm tired today. None of that. Nope. My trainer, Matt, whom you're going to meet in a little bit, he's like, let's go. was one of the smartest things I did, because at least, even though I hadn't solved all the problems of bad habits, I had that in place. So I was accountable, and I have been showing up every week, every training for the last 6 months. And I've gotten a little stronger, and now I feel like I am ready to hit it hard. So I thought I would share this with you, but you are going to see the 17 pounds of weight that I gained around my tummy, and I'm not happy about it. I want you to see me as somebody you can look up to and you can trust that she knows what she's talking about. Instead, you're going to see me face my own demons in this journey. I'm doing a 5-part series, and we'll continue to revisit this with you. You're going to see the changes over time. And that is the most authentic approach. So in this video, you are going to see the act of saying goodbye to my former self. The train is leaving the station, and I want you with me on this journey. So I'm inviting you to join me from day one with this comeback. See the process, see the progress. And I think no matter where you are in this journey, you can move forward too, because if I can, you can. So here we go. Part 1, leg day. Come to the gym with me. Hi friends, here we are on the gym floor. This is where the work gets done. And Matt here is the one who has shepherded me through my ending of my knee surgery till now, getting stable, strong, with progression and intelligence. Matt?
That's right, everybody. We're working on Janet 2.0, and we're going to show you some tricks behind the scenes to let you know how to get your fitness right.
All right, high five. Okay, so for beginner one-legged step-ups, you want to plant your foot squarely on a stable bench and use the opposite hand for balance, going from gripping firmly to just touching it as you get stronger. And notice that I'm angling my torso forward slightly at an angle rather than straight up and down vertically like an arrow. That allows you to use your glutes. And you want to lightly swing your foot forward to help complete the movement and provide more balance. Notice here that I'm angling my eyes, my gaze is slightly down, because that helps your body be more balanced. And then as we switch sides, notice that Matt is coming behind me and circling around to make sure that I'm not lopsided, making sure that my hips stay level with the movement and I'm not hitching at all. Okay, for intermediate step-ups, it's going to look a lot like the beginner step-ups. I'm refining my form a little bit. Matt is cueing me how to make sure that I angle up before I straighten up, so I don't stand up erectly until I'm already up. Sweep up and then stand up. Now, what makes this an intermediate movement is that I'm holding a dumbbell on one side, so I'm adding more than my body weight. And of course, this is a lightweight, and then you can go up to 10, 15, 20 pounds as you get stronger. And Matt's making sure that I'm staying true to form and I'm not reneging on the structure of the exercise, because sometimes as we get tired, we tend to let our form degrade a little bit. So it's better to stop when you start feeling really fatigued than to try to force yourself to go through and wobble all over the place. So here I'm switching sides and watching for the same thing. I think this is a 10-pound dumbbell, but of course, like I said, you can go heavier as you get stronger. You can tell I'm starting to get a little tired because I'm doing all of these exercises in one burn, which is unusual for me. I usually take a longer break. But remember, to go slow in your progression, and as it gets easier, then you can always escalate to heavier dumbbells. Now for advanced step-ups. Matt is cueing me to make sure that I leave room for my floor foot to land so that I can hold stably when I get to the top and not tip over. It keeps me tight and controlled, and to squeeze both glutes, not just the one that I'm using. There, good, nice and square. And just as a side note, this is the first time I've been able to do this exercise since my knee replacement surgery. So that's a big victory. I'm a little nervous. Notice too that I'm just using a little PVC pipe. It practically weighs nothing. So what you do to make this exercise more challenging is to just carry a heavier and heavier bar. Make sense? So here I'm going to demonstrate dumbbell RDLs. This is, rather than showing you easy, medium, and hard, I'm going to show you 3 different ways to use RDLs. And then each one you can add weights. So here I'm holding the dumbbells like it's a bar. Same idea as with the barbell. Matt is reminding me to be sure to keep tension in my upper torso on the back so that I can support the weight, and to not forget to make it a forward and backward motion rather than just upright. Yeah, and don't forget to tuck at the end and squeeze the glutes to finish the movement cleanly. This one is a good one for adapting if you're not strong yet, because you can start with really light weights. Now for Romanian deadlifts or RDLs. These are great for glute and hamstring development. Matt is telling me to have my feet about hip width apart or a slight variance of that, and to keep my core nice and tight, both forward and backward. Keep my chin tucked, and then I'm going to be sliding backward and forward rather than up and down. So it's kind of a sliding motion. Hips back, face forward, and then tuck the hips at the end with a nice ending movement. So he's watching to see if there's any little tweaks. That's what's great about having a trainer. And here he's showing me push my hips back a little farther, but don't forget to keep my chin down. And oh, it was harder. So that's what the benefit of having a trainer, even if you're a trainer, to kind of show you where you're missing out, because you can't see yourself while you're doing the movement. Now, I'm going to do RDLs with a Smith machine. The Smith machine means that you don't have to balance the weight. It is in a track. So it's actually something that's pretty easy to do early on with no weights on the bar because of the balance aspect. It looks harder than it is. So flexing my foot, Matt is showing me the way it's supposed to look, where my head and my foot that's going out back should be level, like a teeter-totter. So it's a lot of coordination just to get started, but the muscle memory will come in pretty quickly. So one-legged RDLs, I chose 10-pound plates, which is kind of intermediate. I would start with no plates just to get the movement down. Notice and he's coming behind me to make sure my hips are even, that I'm not hitching one up too far, which would compromise my lower back. And now he's watching from the side because he can see that I'm level. It's really hard for me to remember to keep my foot flexed, but I'll get it. What a lot of people don't realize is that the leg press is an excellent tool for strengthening your legs. It's very safe because it's smooth and stable. what people may not know is your foot position. You can go high, medium, or low. And when you move your feet around in that way, it alters which muscle in the leg is dominant in what the load is. Having them low works the quads. So just the balls of the feet down as low as is comfortable on the plate. Here he's telling me to think about bringing my knees into my head rather than worrying about hip hinging. So this is a knees over toes, knee health sort of thing. I could not do this before my knee replacement. So this is a real victory for me. It feels a little scary, but wow, it really nails the quads. It's so good too, because it's not scary in that I'm not having to balance anything. I can just focus on the flex. So for position number 2, placing my feet right in the middle of the plate so that the middle of my foot is in the middle. And what this means is that quads and hamstrings get equal playtime. So it ends up being a very powerful position because it's not quad dominant. Quads and hamstrings are both recruited. And I'm asking him here, is it okay to go down deeper? Is that still going to be okay? And he's saying yes, as long as I don't lift my hips up off the bench and curl my tailbone. I'm really feeling it in my adductors, the middle, the insides of my legs, that stretch. And notice here I'm just using 100 pounds. You can start with less than that. You can do it without weights. And progression in difficulty, you just keep adding plates and adding plates. And this is the first one you can progress on simply because you're using everything. And for the third position, this is going to be a high foot placement. And what this does is ever so slightly recruits the glute muscles more. So here he's showing me, you want a high position, you want to make sure that you go as high as you can and still feel your glutes. So that's going to be different for different length of legs, width of hip, and so on. So he's telling me to go up as high as I can here, so maybe a little higher than I have them, and to do the first rep nice and slow, and I'm hip width apart. Make sure that I can feel what I'm supposed to feel. So I'm gonna go nice and slow for this first rep, and I can feel it. And he's saying, if you can't feel it, then we can move your feet a little bit. But I'm like, oh yeah, I can feel it. And I'm noticing a lot of stretch in the hips. And he's saying, yes, that's why it's so important to keep your abs really taut during this, even though you're sort of on your back, to make sure that your hips stay where they belong. And I can feel the comfort on my knees. It's not sore. I'm always aware of that because of my surgery. And again, with this one, doing it very slowly and mindfully is going to get you more activation because you're activating all the little muscles around the big muscles and not just relying on momentum. And as you want to get more difficult, you add more plates.